Hey all, this one's for communists and socialists, and this is actually a helpful video. I am actually here to help out people who are my sworn political enemies because there is, I think, some mutually beneficial, at least a warning I can give the vast majority of them. I know that most people, especially if you come from middle class and upper middle class, when you go to college and you're college educated and you're still a socialist or communist, you think the economic model is going to be you as some highly paid, comfortable bureaucrat or some kind of political party member or some kind of manager in the new economy, which will primarily be government because either the government controls the means of production or it will be an actual governing entity. So whether you are at the factory that the government owns, like Venezuela's oil fields, the Aramco belt, look it up, or you are actually in the government, or you're in the political arm or the propaganda arm, whatever, you view yourself as a journalist, a manager, an advisor, a social worker, something like that. The problem is that you can't have 100% government employees. In order for your economy to work, there has to be people who produce shit like food and gas and oil and cars and all this other shit. And I'm just wondering, it's very much like my stepdad, who's a very wise guy. I asked him, how come, as I'm a young kid, I'm like, how come they're all captains? How come this is a general so-and-so and a colonel, whatever it is, over in Africa, because there'd be a different war or something would break out and they say, this guy's a captain or this guy's a colonel. I'm like, where are the privates? It's like, it's all legal. You don't have privates in these armies. And it's an example of top-heavy men. You have all these generals, not enough privates. Too many chiefs, not enough Indians. And that is the problem, that you guys in your little mind, you think that working hard, working on the fields, actually being a worker is beneath you. You're going to college. You're the intellectual class. You're the elite. You're the educated. The problem is, there's way too many of you fuckers to be in there. And there's not enough actual workers who are going to be able to produce the economic value forget that is going to warrant you to be a manager or to be a supervisor of these people. Forget there not being enough food, production, gas, water, electricity, or anything to support or warrant your job, to validate your job. There's not going to be enough of that shit to support people. This is why that kind of starving thing happened in communist China and North Korea and Vietnam and the Soviet Union. You don't care about what I know this is falling on deaf ears, but I just wanted to do this for posterity. I know your ego is way too big for you to think logically, reasonably, rationally about this, because it's all about you. It's all about, you're lazy. You don't want to work a real job. You're majoring in the liberal arts. You want other people, other producers to produce for you so you can continue to have your whatever make-work government bureaucratic nonprofit job. But just so you know, what you're advocating, if you get rid of these evil capitalists, you get rid of private property, you get rid of the workers, and you nationalize all that, you are going to have no fucking food. You're going to have no fucking electricity. I mean, you might have some, very little, but I got news for you. Unless your last name is Clinton or Obama or Kennedy, you're not going to be in the managerial class. You're going to be the slaved and toiling out in the fields. And because you got rid of all those evil, nasty corporations, you're not going to have the greatest tools to do it. You may be doing it by hand for a while. So, want to point that out? Little flaw in your thinking there. I know your ego and your pride and your laziness and your sloth will, you won't, it'll block your brain from recognizing this. I know you're not going to break out a piece of paper and a pencil and calculate how many people would take in a population of 300 million. Well, if we kill 100 million capitalists, we'll have 200 million left. And then 100 million will be managerial types in the government. And then the other 100 million will be what? Children and old people who are about to retire or die. They're going to be working in the fields. Just to let you know, you're going to be the slave. You think way too highly of yourself. You do not have the connections. Again, unless your last name was Bush or Clinton or Pelosi or something, you don't have the connections, and they have the guns and they have the money, and they will definitely make sure that you're the one working in the field and not sitting in an air-conditioned office. Toodles.